Okay. Jim, tell us your story, Jim.
What story? What
The bank.
telltale
The bank.
to hear?
The bank.
The bank. All right. One Saturday morning, I'm minding my own business. I do security at Mid-First Bank. And about 10 to 10, I'm standing there, and this ugly-looking woman walks in, and she's dressed like Michael Jackson. I mean, she's got a black hood over her face. She comes walking in. She walks up to the teller counter and goes, "I want your money." About the time I see the gun come out, I've trained my tellers when I say hit the ground, they're sucking concrete. They're right flat on their bellies. About that time, this lady turns around, and we're dancing, because I'm right here like this. She raises the gun, and I put 2 rounds in it, right dead center in the 10 ring,
With what?
with a 357 Magnum. And she went, and I thought, oh shit. And then she starts back towards me, and I said, you better drop that gun or I'm going to shoot you. And she says, you son of a bitch, you already shot me twice. And she comes up like this. So I shot her again. What did she do? Step back with the other foot. Then start back towards me again. Well, at that time, she dropped the gun and went out the door. Now, I'm a little bit stirred up. So I'm following her out the door kind of like this, making sure where she's going. And about the time, we've got double glass doors. And there's a little entryway, and I got glass doors behind me and glass doors in front of me. And about the time I walk into this fishbowl, the door on this side shatters. And then the door on this side shatters. And again I get, oh shit, someone's shooting at me. She had a partner outside. And he got out. I'm using a revolver. He's got a semi-automatic 40 cal. And he just starts going boom, 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 boom. And he started around the car to get on the passenger side to give him some protection, I assume. I shot at him twice as he was going around and missed him, I'm sorry to say. And he kept shooting, and my third shot was through the driver's side window, and I hit him right there. It entered, it ricocheted some way, and damn near took off his right arm. And all I see is, I'm done, I give, and he went down. Brought him out, put him in front of the car, face down. Now at this point, I've lost track of how many rounds I fired. So I'm out here like this, said, you move, mother, and I'm going to shoot you. And I'm hoping that the cops will get there very fast, because I quite frankly don't know whether I have any rounds left or not. As it turned out, I had 1 round left. But it's, for those of you guys that have been in a gunfight, you understand that. For people that haven't, until somebody starts shooting at you, there's nothing like it. Now, I was asked, the cops asked me, everybody, they said, well, were you scared? No, really wasn't. Didn't have time to get scared. When it was all over, I'm sitting there like this, but while it was going on, you concentrate on what you're doing, you do your job, and you go home. Because my thought was, you mother, I'm going home. You may not, but I am. And that's it. I hope to God it never happens again. What I was asked, talking about courts and attorneys. The first thing the homicide detective asked me was, were you trying to kill her? No, I wasn't. No, I wasn't. I was trying to stop her and keep innocent people from being hurt. So you weren't trying to kill her? No. I was shooting dead center to stop her. Same thing with him. Were you trying to kill him? No. I wasn't. I was trying to keep him from killing me. And that's what you're going to get, because they want to know, did you intend to do something? You know, I intended to stop them with whatever means were necessary to do that.
And whether it's a righteous shooting or a righteous self-defense act, they're still going to ask you those questions.
homicide detective did nothing but praise me. The district attorney said I couldn't have done better if whatever I'd done, that I had done it just by the book and just right. But the questions they asked you, I sat in that homicide detective's office for an hour in the interview room answering questions from him and the FBI agent. FBI agent didn't ask much because when the homicide detective got done, he said, all right, do you want to ask Jim anything? He said, nope, I don't want to ask him anything. When we walked out of the interview room, the FBI agent caught me out in the corner. He says, hey, Jim, good shooting. But he's not going to say that in the interview room. But I was very, well, thank you, I appreciate that. And I'm still kind of, I kind of feel tickled. EMTs came up and said, oh my God, your blood pressure's high. I said, look at those damn
I've got brown spots in my pants too.
yeah.
Good job. Now, the point I was going to make story. If he puts 4 357 rounds in some lady's chest and she walks off, you think a wrist lock is going to hurt her or bother her? I'm not saying it won't. I'm saying that the reason that I'm going to lateral vascular initially and not going to something else is because the only way I know to stop any animal is cut the oxygen off of its brain. Okay? We get stories about this all the time. Soldiers shot umpteen time. We had a veteran from Battle of the Bulge, took 17 M42 rounds, German M42 rounds. Kept fighting, lived. He retired there in Lawton. Patton said, the one that wins the battle is the one that gets there the firstest with the mostest. Okay? I'm not saying all this other stuff isn't good. And I train all this other stuff because I've used it over and over again. But usually my first instinct is to get that lateral vascular. And for this reason, because I've heard too many of these stories. I've seen it too many times. I want to try to stop the action. We're not out there to kill people. Law enforcement whole purpose is to save lives. We are EMTs, are we not? Our job, bad guy shoots 23,000 people, throws the gun down, puts his hands up, guess what? We take him into custody. We have no right to make a decision on whether he lives or dies. Now, if the weapon happens to still be up in the air and there's a question of whether there's rounds in the chamber, you might empty a magazine or two into him, but you're not trying to kill him. You're simply trying to make sure he doesn't have any more ammo. Does that make sense? Huh? Our principal's son was one of those guys for my girls. Okay. How's that feel? Like that? Okay. Any questions on that? Nothing? Now, again, this is just my opinion. There's a lot of experience in this room. The thing I like about Eric is he's got 15,000 different ways of doing things, and they're all excellent. I love to watch his stuff because he prints one thing from about 53,000 different ways, and they're all good. There's nothing wrong with them. What I'm saying is, what we were talking about, if you got a 45 and a saw, which is one of the major, and you don't know whether there's anybody in that building, I think I'm going to carry the saw. My weapon of choice anytime there's really stuff going down is grabbing a shotgun. .932 caliber rounds flying down range with every shot that's fired. So, I want every chance of survival I get. So that's kind of how I approach that. So let's go to the next one. May I borrow you again, sir? Oh, can you do these with the reactions? I don't know. Let's see. So he grabs. Ooh. Oh, isn't that nice?
I was wondering where we're going to go with this. Thank you for answering the question.
It looks just like the last one did, didn't it? Oh, I'm even gonna help you with that, aren't I?
Pretty much.
Or if it works on the other side. Sometimes these don't work on the other. Oh, I guess it does. Feel good?
Can I begin?
Oh, I'm sorry. Now, you notice he's not moving around a lot, is he? Who's moving around? If you don't like the way the world is, guess what? Can't change everybody else. We got to change. I don't depend on this guy doing anything except standing there. If he doesn't stand there, I'll just move with him. But guess what? I don't know what he's going to do. I'm going to let me back up. 3 basic ways to deal with an attack. Right before they attack, correct? As they're attacking or after they've attacked. I do a preliminary prior to, right, they're not even in the thought process yet, like I was showing you on the arrest. I want to catch them talking, and then I'll move in. You got somebody has a firearm on you, start talking to them. Get them, once that they start working this doesn't work as efficiently. I'm not saying you won't get shot. I'm saying your chances of survival go up. Make sense? Like that? One more time. Let me get it with both hands. It's even worse. Okay, try it. You're fine. Don't ever apologize for doing efficient and effective stuff. Ever, ever, ever. Guys, guess what? If you do a technique on me and you don't get it, I'm going to drop you on your ass. Why? It's giving you valid feedback. Guys, if you fall every time somebody touches you, that's just like being on a computer and every time you touch a button, it's typing the letter you're thinking. That's invalid feedback. I'm not saying fight with the guy. I'm saying giving him valid feedback. If he doesn't throw you, don't fall down. If he doesn't get it, again, don't fight him, don't resist him. Just don't go with it. Just stand there. If he doesn't get that right, are you just going to stand there and look at me? What happens if I drop my hand? Here, drop your hand. Do something with it. That's your cue, guys. If bad guy's got a round on you and he goes, did he stand there for a little bit? Army, right? Airborne, right? Oh, okay. Try that. Not necessarily that I want to turn my back on somebody, but it's just something to play with. Like that?